clap so that way I can sync the video and the audio. Alright. So what was your start in the jerky industry?
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta think about this. What was the start? It was, I wanted to get started in the snack food business, and there was a company setting up territories for their snack foods, and that's how I got started.
Alright. How did it grow?
It grows. So I started in a Volkswagen Rabbit, peddling meat snacks to convenience stores and taverns, and I would make routes so that I would go out as far as I could and get home at a decent time of the day. That'd be nighttime back then. So I kind of did a daisy kind of a thing, and when I got those routes built up, I hired somebody and got another vehicle so they could run those routes and I could go out and start others.
And then you got multiple trucks running at the same time?
So that's called a DSD business, direct store delivery. So I had the product, I'd go in the store, make up the order, bring it in, get checked in, and put it on our display. And that's another thing that built our business up. We made displays for the stores. So we could take a dead space in the store and fill it with meat snacks and turn it into a profit-making center for them.
It was part of the company in the early days?
Yep, so I started, I think Aaron, our son, was like 5 years old when I started it. So when he was off of school in the summer, he would run with me. Of course, Gail took care of the books, and she also received shipments during the day when I was out on the routes. And then as soon as Aaron turned 18, got out of high school, we got him a van and he started running routes.
And who all is working now?
So now we have about 35 people in the company. We no longer have any DSD vans on the road. Now we just build pallets in the warehouse and ship them out common carrier to DCs all over the United States.
Why did you decide to create your own company? Or what makes this different?
Working alone doesn't bother me, and in the early days I'd spend hours on the road alone, and that fit me just fine. And like a lot of other people, I guess, I like calling my own shots, so this way I could build the business the way I wanted to.
So why did you go with IOWA Smokehouse to sell your own jerky?
Yep, so for most of the years in business, we distributed other people's products. And about 10 years ago, we just decided to start our own line. By then, we knew a lot of people in the industry, and we knew what people liked and what people didn't like. So we created IOWA Smokehouse to kind of fit their needs.
So why did you go with the IOWA Smokehouse branding? Why IOWA branding?
So obviously we live in Iowa, so that's one of the main reasons. When people hear the word Iowa, they think of old-fashioned, authentic agriculture, that kind of thing. So that name fit very well, and we have very simple packaging, just black and white, and it seems to present the product the way we want. And when people see that and then they taste it, they come back for more.
Why'd you go with black and white?
Today, like if you'd go to the meat snacks section in a grocery store today, it's full of reds, yellows, greens, blues. So if we're put in that set, guess who stands out? The black and white. I have a lot of people tell me that. So it's very simple, basic, but it really works.
Right. So you mentioned black and white packaging, so why did you go with black and white packaging, or the clear on the back and all that too?
Yeah. So our packaging, for the most part, is very clear. So a lot of products you find today on the market, the package completely hides the product inside it. And we wanted to do the opposite. We want the consumer to see exactly what they're getting. And so a lot of times our package is completely see-through, and if not, if we've chosen a label that covers the front, they can turn it over and completely see what they're buying.
All right. Why the different size of packages?
When meat snacks had their origin, or in the early days, I should say, people would buy one meat stick at a time in a convenience store. And they grew in popularity. Pretty soon they were a pretty high price stick at the cash register. They wanted to have some of these snacks at home. Mothers can put them in the kids' lunches. Construction workers can take them. So when we created our line 10 years ago, we pretty much went with bigger packages, like up to 2 pounds of meat sticks. And that became our number one seller. Because the brand and the name took off, got popular, a lot of our customers requested that we come out with smaller packages so they could have them up by the cash register. So now we have like a 1.5 ounce stick or 4 ounce sticks up by the registers too.
What progress has the company made? So what's bring the jump from regional to national?
Okay, so we just wanted a line we had complete control of, and being in Iowa, we had a rapport with the grocers in the state of Iowa. But then we got the idea, why don't we go, we're not confined just to Iowa, why don't we, try some other markets? So we went down to Orscheln Farm and Home down in Moberly, and they took on the line right away. And pretty soon they were selling so much IOWA Smokehouse, they took the major national brand out of their warehouse and brought us in their warehouse. So that was pretty encouraging. And then the buyer there said, you should join this co-op for farm and home stores across the United States. So we did that, started working their shows, and so quickly it went from a regional to a national brand.
What is the meaning of the slogan, in case the community?
So when we work a trade show, a lot of times, many times I've heard that people say, this is the best jerky at the show, or they say, this is the best jerky I've ever tasted. Sometimes people come and stand by the booth and they keep eating the samples. I almost have to shoo them away so there's more samples for other people. So it's really true that the black and white label catches their eye, and when they try it, they'll always come back for more.
So where else can someone find our product now?
We're still very big into the farm and home sector. We're growing into the grocery sector. A lot of the grocery business is hard to get into, and it's very common. You have to buy your way into the business, and we've really held back from doing that. So, but little by little, grocers are beginning to see this is a popular brand. They see us in not only the regional farm and home stores, but the national farm and home stores in their area. A lot of them have bought it, they've eaten it, and they love it. So little by little, we're getting into the grocery business too.
They can't find our product in the store near them?
So now we have online presence. Consumers can go there and browse through the entire line of meat snacks and pick out what they want.
Why wagons in the stores?
Yep, so the old covered wagon, is the way that America spread west in those covered wagons. And it's a part of our heritage, I guess. Everybody knows about the covered wagon. And so we started using those as displays, a miniature covered wagon. And that really took off. It got us space in the stores. We didn't have to eat into their shelf space if we provided the display. And that display just draws people to it. And so, to begin with, we just had one size wagon, and it was pretty large. But as the customers requested smaller wagons for smaller stores, so now we have about 6 different versions of those wagons. And we're still building them and sending them out as quick as we can.
What's your favorite part about the company today? Or like where you've come thus far? What's your favorite part about where you've gotten?
I still love selling, so now rather than going into a little independent convenience store or a tavern and showing them a few things that we have, now it's completely different. So now you go to corporate offices and present to 3 or 4 people at once. I still get kind of nervous doing that, but I love doing that.
Do you eat the product, and if so, what's your favorite?
I eat too much of the product, and I love a lot of the SKUs that we carry now, but I'd have to say the bacon meat sticks are my favorite. I mean, who doesn't love bacon?
What would you say to someone who hasn't tried our products?
I would say they should try it. A lot of meat snacks on the market, I call them gut fillers. They are protein and they are a meat snack as opposed to a candy bar, but a lot of them, and I hear it all the time, they just don't taste that good. Or maybe they tasted good years ago and their quality's gone downhill. So again, we're a family business. We tweak the recipes to where we think they taste delicious. And so if you haven't tried it, you really should try it. I think you'd fall in love with meat snacks all over again.